Welcome to another Vibes report by SoapQuest on February 6th, 2026. And a reminder from HODL that you are either the new wealthy elite or an idiot who rode Bitcoin to zero. There is no in between. That is the dire state of the world we are in right now. Either Bitcoin wins or we go to slavery. And the only thing you can do is stack, HODL, and maintain your stack and do not get shaken out during these times. Because as a reminder, the banks want you to lose. The banks want your Bitcoin. The government wants your Bitcoin. Everyone who hates you either wants you to not have Bitcoin, either wants Bitcoin to fail, or wants to get as much Bitcoin as they can from you. And a reminder that all wars are bankers' wars. U.S. Treasury Secretary Bessent on Iran from War Monitor. We engineered a dollar shortage inside the country, and it had rapid effects. The tipping point came in December when one of Iran's largest banks collapsed following a bank run, forcing the central bank to print money. The Iranian currency then went into a free fall, inflation surged, and as a result, we've seen the Iranian people take to the streets. Money is a tool for weapons, money is a tool for war, and they will use it. It's being used on you currently. It's your livelihood is being taken from you, and ultimately, whenever it's used, the people are who suffer. Sure, this government gets taken down, and those that government suffers, but ultimately, the larger effect of this is millions of people just had their money get deleted, go to zero, and they're touting this as a good thing because the United States did not put boots on the ground. Money printing is a human rights violation. It's fucked up, and Bitcoin's here to stop it. But they don't want you to. As much as we think that we're winning, the banks will continue to always be against us. Those who can print money will always be against us until they have to be on the side of Bitcoin. And ultimately, along the way, they're going to try and get as much Bitcoin from you. They're going to try and shake you out, make life as hard as possible, make it scary to buy Bitcoin. So Hank, fractional CFO or a CFO by trade, I just spoke with Chase Bank Global Risk Department representative. This week I had 6 rejected wire transfers to Unchained, Strike, and Kraken. She told me that they would no longer allow me to wire transfer these crypto platforms, that I have to find a different way to fund these accounts. Operation Choke.0 is alive and well and tightening at Chase Bank. This isn't going to stop. It'll change, it'll morph into different ways, it'll get swept under the rug, but ultimately they want you to have as little Bitcoin as possible, and they want to scoop that shit up. Another way they're scaring you, Joe Nakamoto, he's been tweeting about this, nosting about this, and it's scary. I don't know the full details, but it sounds like the French government had a failure of security. Maybe someone was selling this information to nefarious people around that want to steal people's Bitcoin, and people are getting wrench attacked in France. So the French government has completely failed its people. French Bitcoin people are terrified for their loved ones. Attacks almost every day this year in broad fucking daylight. Mothers, daughters, brothers, friends kidnapped, then ransomed. Europeans, we must learn from this. Makes me thankful for the Second Amendment and my ability to have guns in the United States, but it's also a light that this is going to come for everyone. As things get worse, as inflation rampages around the world, there's going to be haves and have-nots. And if you have Bitcoin, you are absolutely a have. And it's scary if you're out there on the internet, but realistically, like if you've had any KYC interaction with Bitcoin, you're at risk because that is probably going to get leaked. It's in the government's incentive to do so, to make it scary to hold Bitcoin, make it scary to opt out of their horrible system. And so be prepared. Security at home. Make sure you're not telling the wrong people that you have Bitcoin, but ultimately people find out. Cities, I think in the long term, to me, are scary, but I live in the country, so I'm definitely biased. If you can get a gun, awesome. But ultimately, just stuff like this is going to continue ramping up, and it's very scary. Last but not least, a little bit lighter note, Jack Mallers tweeting or posting for Strike. People can say whatever they want. What they can't say is that we don't show up, we don't listen, we don't bust our ass, and we don't care. Keep the feedback coming and let me know how we can help. responding to a post by Lebanese HODL, Strike just lowered their margin call requirement to just 65% instead of 60% and extended the window to 3 days instead of 24 hours to cover that. All of this in the middle of a cascade of liquidation. Jack Mallers doing God's work. So it looks like maybe back to 65%. So you set these loans at a 50% margin, and if it goes down, you have to provide more, or they liquidate you to cover their risk. It's why Bitcoin is the best collateral, because they can liquidate it at any time 24/7. But it's also dangerous for you, because if you go to bed and the Bitcoin price dumps while you're sleeping, it's scary. You could get liquidated. So having more than 24 hours, let's say that happens when you're on a trip, you're away from your cold storage. It's just an awesome thing. And to me, it shows that Strike and Jack are Bitcoiners. They're awesome, in my opinion, and their incentives are generally aligned with us. They want you to loan Bitcoin out. I think it's a tool that you can use to manage your wealth without selling Bitcoin. It's also very dangerous. And so loosening that a little bit, giving a little bit more flexibility is awesome to see. And I hope that this just continues getting built out better and better and better. There's going to be a lot of trial by fire. A lot of people are going to get hurt using this tool that people don't quite understand how to use perfectly for them for the first time right away. But it is a cool tool nonetheless, and it's awesome to see it improving.